After several attempts at recording this video in the past month, I've got a new computer, I've got a new webcam, I've got some tea in the InfoWars mug, I've got concepts of a script written out, and I know everything I have to say in this video, and it's all staged well, so it's not going to be terrible like the last couple of tries that I've done here. So this is what I listened to in June 2025, and I know we're almost in August. I'm sorry. So first I listened to Modal Soul by Nujabes. I listened to this on like the first day of the month at like 6 in the morning. You ever have those mornings where you struggle to get out of bed a lot, but then finally you get out of bed way earlier than you even wanted to? The sun's barely coming up, and you're like, okay, I have to do something with myself. I have to make this day count for something. This album, it made me feel like a very peaceful human being. I mean, let me tell you, there's a feeling of like peace and creativity that flows throughout the album, and it kind of carries you along. I mean, each song, whenever there's a lull or something you're just not clicking with musically, you're still sucked in by the feeling of freedom, really, that the album has. But Modal Soul in particular is one that just really, I don't know, it really captured me. It's like you're driving down a long road on your way to like an exciting event or an important meeting, or like something that's really going to push you forward. You feel like it's really going to change things for you. And along the road, you keep passing signs of places you used to go to all the time, things that remind you of the past. And the whole time you're thinking like, okay, well, you know, I'm really leaving a lot behind here, because I'm not turning back the other way. I'm going straight ahead. This is where I'm at right now. It's hard to notice. I call it like nostalgic melancholy, or maybe nostalgia is inherently melancholic, but it's hard to notice that feeling for a lot of it, because a lot of the time you're just having fun, right? You're just hanging out, you're really feeling the flow, you're just enjoying the ride. And after a certain point, it does hit you in those lulls for those little minutes, like 30 seconds at a time in a song. You know, it's a little overwhelming. You're like, oh my God, I'm here now, but everywhere that I've been before is a part of me forever. And kind of learning how to live with that. So, I mean, it's comforting too, though, because
phone notification in the middle of recording.
Just like the places you've been before and the things you've done in the past, you can always reflect on them, and you can always listen to a Nujabes album whenever you. And you can always listen to a Nujabes album whenever you feel like you need to get your life back together. I gave this album an 8 out of 10, not a 9 out of 10, strictly because Nujabes sets a high bar for himself, man. When I listen to another album by him and I'm like, this is a 10 out of 10, and then you listen to this one, you're like, okay, comparatively, this one's better than this one, right? So you can't give them both a 10 out of 10 if one's clearly better. Because then if you start overreaching 10, then nothing matters anymore and you're in hell. So 8 out of 10 it is, just because he's done some crazier stuff. The numbers don't really matter. That's just kind of a fun thing for me to do. Speaking of not feeling good in your mouth, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication. It's groovy, man. It's funky, it's groovy, it pounds you in the skull for like over an hour. This album's like an hour and something minutes, which is something minutes too long. But I'm from California, so you can't make me hate Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's kind of like you're forced to, right? You grow up, if you're as old as I am, you're hearing it on every radio station. You got at least 2 friends that are Red Hot Chili Peppers mega fans, and they think it's the best music ever. And you have a couple songs that you actually really like. And, you know, sometimes you're going through a little bit of a phase in your life where you're like, this is lame. I don't like this. This always sucked. But then you always, in the back of your mind, know you're going to come around later and you're going to listen to Danny California. No matter how much you feel like it might suck, you're going to listen to it again and you're going to like it. And that's kind of the vibe of the album, right? I mean, it's awesome background music. I see why they throw it on radio stations. It's groovy. There's good solos. Everything sounds like you're at a concert. The production is extremely consistent. Sometimes to a fault, because you'll be listening to, 2 or 3 songs in a row and you won't really realize where one's ended and another's began, and not in like a flowing transition kind of way, but in like they all sound kind of the same kind of way. That being said, it's clear, it's crisp, it sounds like you're watching them live, except you're not. You lose a lot of that luster that their music otherwise has. You know, for that reason, it's a 7 out of 10. It's got a lot of classics, right? It's pushed the music forward. It's pushed California forward. You know, this has done more for California than Richard Nixon. So shout out to Richard Nixon. He'd be 112. About a month ago, in a couple days, I listened to Hobbies by Meets Kant and Otto Benson. I know Otto Benson, but the other one I struggle. I don't know. Look at my skin, man. This album, this is a similar vibe to the Nujabes thing, with kind of how it makes you feel like nostalgic and fun and full of life. It's lovely, you know, it's floaty. You're going through the whole thing. It's just a good vibe, right? I mean, sometimes it's very cute. Sometimes it's pretty creepy. It's extremely easy to give an album like this a 10 out of 10, which I have. It's super short. Every musical idea is shockingly well explored and thought out. And it's just overall, when you listen to a song, you're like, I don't know how this could have been done any better. Yeah. My biggest takeaway from the whole thing is to just accept any idea that comes at you musically. I make music, so that's how I'm thinking about all these albums. I'm an asshole, right? I can't enjoy anything unless I can get something out of it. Okay, how can I absorb this? What lesson can I learn from this? And I got a lot out of this. I mean, right, don't reject anything outright. Always remold and reuse until it fits, because it always will, because it's your music at the end of the day. That's a really cool part about music in general, because it is just music, and that's all there is to it. It's infinite, it's forever, it's expansive, it can be expensive, and it's the only way, I think, to express every feeling at the same time. There's sad parts, there's happy parts, there's funny parts, there's scary parts. So 10 out of 10, easy 10 out of 10, right? Next was The Warmth of a Thousand Flames by Tom C. Bumps. I'm sure there's a better way to say his name, but I don't research this. I don't research this very much. I just jump into it, all right? This album is very similar to Hobbies in that it is kind of zone out, floaty, a ton of musical ideas coming at you. But my biggest dig at the album is that the musical ideas that come at you don't feel fully explored. And I'm only comparing it so it's easier to understand what I'm saying, but comparison can schmarison. It doesn't feel like every idea was fully explored. Every musical motif, every ambient space. I mean, there's ideas in here that are lush and beautiful and just really fun to zone out and just sit and live in them for a while. But they only last like a minute, right? And that makes me feel it makes me feel like I want more. But not in a way where it's like, I'm going to go listen to more of this artist's stuff, and more of like, well, I wanted more of that specific thing. And it petered out, right? Like, it doesn't end, it just stops. So 7 out of 10 though, because it's really good stuff, right? And I want more, so you got to be fair. I can't give it a 4 out of 10 because I loved it, but it was short. So 7 out of 10 I think is fair. I listened to a lot of good stuff this month, okay? Next I listened to Superunknown by Soundgarden. Classic album. Oh, it's one of those ones that get ruined by the big deluxe edition sticker that they slap on there, even on the streaming services. But the mixes are better, so you gotta listen to the good mixes or else, you know, you're suffering, right? But this album was really fun. I feel the same about this one as I do the Red Hot Chili Peppers album, except it doesn't have the length criticism, so that's really gonna edge it out higher for me. I mean, almost every song is a classic. You got Spoon Man, dude. You got Black Hole Sun. You got The Day I Something to Live, and you got The Day I to Live, which is what I'm gonna call it. I'm probably wrong. All the riffs on the song are catchy though and memorable. They play well with the chords under them. Chris Cornell is like grunge singing personified, right? It doesn't annoy the ear easily like some other vocalists that I've alluded to, but there are some instances of monotony, right? There's little parts of this album where you're like, this is getting a little old, because you can only do so much with power chords in 90s production. But what they did do with 90s production is about as good as it gets, right? So this is an 8 out of 10, okay? You could probably trim some things off. Spoon Man though, it's never boring, it's never bad, it's really great. It's the 90s. Coming out of the 90s into the 2000s though, we do have perfect rock. We have perfect garage rock. It's Is This It by The Strokes. I'll say it, 10 out of 10. It's a perfect album. There's nothing new I can say about it. I re-listen to it a couple times a month, like once or twice, maybe even 5 times a month for this whole past year. It doesn't get old. Every song's, it hits, right? It hits. So that's all I got to say about that. I got a lot more to say. Where am I going? I got a lot more to say about HiLo by Jack Stauber, though. This album, dude. Oh my God. We've all had our phases. This was one of mine. It's kind of hard for me to give maybe an honest review about it, but although every time I listen to it, there's kind of always something new in there. And that's a huge compliment, I think. The layers of production never feel overwhelming like some other like kind of indie electronic music that comes out tends to do. It always feels like there's just enough going on for it to feel chaotic but not confusing and not like messy, right? Not muddy, which is remarkable too, because the everything has like a warm analog kind of saturated feel on this album, like particularly all the synth sounds. They have that kind of hiss in them. I very much doubt that it was actual analog recording, like fully like tape, reel to reel, stuff like that, just because I don't know. I've seen Jack Stauber's kind of recording set. I've seen some pictures of it. I've seen that video of him in a McDonald's, so it doesn't seem like that's how it would be, but that's how it sounds, right? So I think that's pretty cool too. If you can capture that sound without any of the headache that comes with actually setting up that sound. Jack's singing, specifically his eccentric, goofy style is theatrical in a way because it fits all the lyrics of the song. It's almost like watching a stage performer, and that kind of helps you to paint visual pictures with these songs, despite them mostly being about nothing. And I think that's really cool. So it's near perfect. It's a 9.5 out of 10. Hell, I'll even give it a 10 out of 10 because I was being an asshole when I hit that 0.5. So it's a 10 out of 10. Okay, let's being real. It's a 10 out of 10. We got The Mollusk by Ween. I wanted to have a Ween moment. I wanted to listen to all the Ween albums. I played The Mollusk just as a test run, and it didn't happen. This is the only Ween I listened to this month. This album is freaky and unsettling and almost unlistenable, but not in a bad way somehow. I don't know how to describe it. It feels like the album wants me to say it's unlistenable, I guess. It's very challenging to the listener in the instrumentation that it pulls. Some of the effects on some of the instruments are peculiar, and the lyrics, most of all, are bizarre, and the song topics are very weird, and there's character play happening in the lyrics of some of these songs, too. That makes you feel a little creepy, you know? I know it's just a bit, but it's a bit that makes me feel in a certain kind of way, you know what I'm saying? It's balanced, right? It's balanced because all the silly effects, all the unsettlingness come out and make it fun. It's every song on the album. I can listen to all of them, really. Like, I like all of them, but you have to be in a specific mood to listen to them. Like, right now, if I listen to something off The Mollusk, maybe not right now, but, you know, maybe if I'm gooping around, maybe I'll listen to Mutilated Lips, or maybe I'll listen to Mutilated Lips right now, because honestly, and Waving Friend in the Wind, those two, I like those ones. Maybe I'm a normie, okay? Maybe I'm just scared of real music. It's a 7.5 out of 10 though, because it's really creative, and you can feel that through the whole thing, and creative in a way that it's like, oh hell, you know, I want to do something creative now. It's not bad. Again, it's unique. Everything it goes for, it nails. So 7.5 out of 10. 3 love songs. Ricky Eat Acid. This one was a frowny face emoji out of 10 for me. I hated this. Not a lot of music makes me actually uncomfortable, but this did. Like, there's like random tracks like screaming. I'm a normie, okay? I only like the normal songs on it that like are a little more chill and laid back. But the more experiment, it didn't sit well with me. Okay, frowny face out of 10. This was a recommendation too, so I'm sorry, Rose, but that shit sucked. Search Session 1 by Scuba Diver. I could do probably 5 videos just glazing Scuba Diver. His most recent release, Search Session 1, this EP came out like a couple weeks ago. It's a 9 out of 10, man. It's 2 songs, it's a 9 out of 10. If you want to see like hard work personified, just check out his whole discography. But this song in particular is like the most evolved version that exists to this guy today. Like, he keeps blowing me away. The Scuba Diver glazing is crazy. I'm gonna stop. Next up, Duster. I listen to all of them. I listen to every Duster album. So I'm not going to go over all of them here because that would take a long time. And I have another project. This is a real project where I want to break down everything that makes Duster to me. All the ways of instrumentation, all the ways they put together the lyrics and production. I'm going to take the most essential parts of each album, break them down, study why they work, and then try to make the ultimate Duster song with each of those elements. Maybe it'll be terrible, maybe it'll be fun, but it's gonna probably take me a long ass time, and I'm gonna be talking about Duster a lot in that video. So you'll just have to wait till then. After that, I trailed off the rest of the month with some pretty easy listening. I listened to Wolfpack's first EP, or album, I think it's an EP, Mitpeck. That's a 6.8 out of 10. It's groovy at first and gradually kind of settles into a consistent groove. And that groove can be touch and go, right? Because sometimes it's like a jam session, right? Sometimes you're really having a great time in it. And then other times it's like, all right, I've played the same chord progression like 8 times. I'm kind of tired. I got nothing left to improvise. So on and so forth. Next is Room for Squares by John Mayer. This is pop perfection, right? I learned a lot about songwriting from this project. In fact, picking apart this album was kind of what gave me the idea to do the whole ultimate blah 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 for the other artists. In fact, I avoided listening to John Mayer for many years. I don't know, because he was popular. Like, if you started learning guitar in like 2019, you've heard about John Mayer constantly from every YouTuber. Learn this John Mayer pentatonic equator hack and you'll be a god. So you learn all the John Mayer tricks, but then you don't listen to John Mayer because, I don't know, it just didn't quite reach out to me enough. But I finally did, and I'm really glad I did. It's, like I said, it's pop perfection. It's like laying in a sunbeam on a perfectly cool day, and it's just warm enough to take a nap in the sun, right? It's beautiful. It's 8 out of 10. Heavier Things by John Mayer is a 4 out of 10. That is the only thing I listened to this month that I just didn't like at all. If you enjoyed this at all, subscribe and like the video. If you made it to the end of the video, you probably already did that. So, and that's the last thing I listened to this month. So I hate to end it on a negative note, but that's it. Have a great rest of your day.